It's nearly a decade since Hurricane Sandy barreled into New York. The predominantly lower-income neighborhood of Far Rockaway was one of the worst affected. And just last year, a major storm in the city caused flash flooding that killed 11 people in lower-rent basement apartments. Experts say while climate change affects both the rich and the poor, disadvantaged communities feel the impact to a much greater degree.
After Hurricane Sandy, wealthy people were hit very hard in Long Island and in New York City, and so were housing projects. The wealthy people didn't have to wait for the insurance to come in before they fixed their houses. The working class people near them did. Poorer people often are in neighborhoods that don't have adequate drainage and sewage, and so when a flood comes, they'll be hit worse.
In New York City, more than half of people living in or adjacent to floodplains are considered low income. 56% are also non-white. And it's estimated the cost of flooding in the US could increase by 26% to more than $40 billion by 2050 because of climate change. But the city says it is taking steps to adapt. Rebuild by Design was created after Hurricane Sandy to find ways of better protecting communities in New York against climate change. It's helped plan a number of flood defense schemes in New York, including along Manhattan's Lower East Side.
The first is Eastside Coastal Resilience Project, and it's rethinking a park to become a berm. So the park itself will be the protection from the community. So instead of walling off a community from its waterfront, it's actually enhancing a park that's been there for a long time. And the community that lives adjacent to it is one of the most diverse and lower income communities in Manhattan, and extraordinarily placed, but there's a lot of public housing in that area.
Campaigners continue to call for more long-term work to prepare for climate change. By some estimates, the city's population will climb to 10 million people by the end of the century, when sea levels could be 6 feet higher. Sarah Walton, CGTN, New York.